Institute of Technology, Bhimvanam. Now I am going to explain this HTML code with some HTML tags. Uh, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language used to create design documents on the web. It structures the content on the web pages such as text images, links and other multimedia elements. HTML elements are the building blocks of web page. So some of the basic HTML tags are document type HTML tag, and it declares the document type and version of the HTML. Now coming into H1 tag, H1 tag defines as a top level heading tag in HTML document. P defines as a paragraph tag, and coming and this is another H1 tag which defines top level heading tag. This is a basic HTML tag. This is the head tag, which contains the meta information about the HTML document such as title and links to the style sheet. This is the title tag, contains meta information about the HTML document such as the title and the links to the style sheets. And this is a body tag. This is a body tag which contains the main content of the HTML document such as heading, paragraphs, images, etc. And each and every tag contains a closing tag which is more similar to this. Now coming into CSS. CSS is a style sheet language used to describe the presentation and design of the HTML document. Now coming into the code, I'm going to explain this code. This is a code which is this is basically a website which is used to build up a resumes for the graduates who are graduated and they are designated to join a job. So we are going basically it contains of a body tag. The body tag contains the four. Let's break down the provided CSS code point by point. Now coming into the body selector, margin 0 pixels, padding 0 pixels, height of 150 VH. The margin removes any default around the body element, setting it up to 0 pixels. Now coming into padding, padding removes any default padding with the setting it up to 0 pixels. Padding is nothing. It is defined as a space between the element and the content of the required HTML tag from the border. Now going into the box outer class. Box outer class, it is set up to padding of 30 pixels, float selected in the left of the sheet, height of 1100 pixels. The height is set to elements from 0 to 1100 pixels. Now coming into the box 1. This class selector that applies styles to any HTML element with the class 1 box. The padding inside the element is added up to 30 pixels. Now coming into the head tag. Phead class. The phead class is a class selector that applies styles to any HTML element with the class phead. The font size is set up to 32 pixels. The text transformer is set to all uppercase letters. The background of the color is set to black. The padding is set to 0 pixels and the margin is set to 0 pixels. Now coming into the box 2. The box 2 is a class selector that applies styles to any HTML element with the class 2 box. The width is set to 54%. The float is set to left side of the HTML page. The padding left is set to 60 pixels. The padding right is set to 20 pixels. Position is related to the set padding, and the background image link is provided as shown in the URL. Now the HTML tag and the image box is now we are going to see the profile class and the content class, which is of a width set to 100% and the padding set to 20 pixels. Coming into H1 selector. H1 selector is a type of selector that applies styles to all the H1 elements. Color is set to #3 left. That means the selected text color to white. Front white 500 sets the front white to weight to 500, making the text medium bold. Text transform is uppercase, letter spacing is up to 2 pixels. Now coming into call division 4 class. The width is set to 30% and the float is set to left of the page. And P selector, paragraph selector, type selector that applies styles to all the P paragraph elements. As mentioned in the selector, this contains of the color, front weight, front size, letter spacing and the line height in this class. The progress is an ID selector. This is an ID selector that applies styles to HTML element with the ID progress. The elements contain a background, border radius of 13 pixels, height of 8 pixels, width of 100%, padding up to 3 pixels. As mentioned above, we can see there are basically many types of. We can set the program to many progresses as mentioned here: progress 1, progress 2, and progress 3, and we can set it up to our required progresses. Now coming into content2 class. The content2 class is a class selector that applies styles to any HTML element with the class to content. The padding top is set to 20 pixels. The property adds 20 pixels of padding to the top of the element. Padding creates space inside the element between the content and the border. Now coming into head box. As mentioned above, head box. This is a class selector that applies styles to HTML with the class head. The basic contains color is set to the black, font weight 700 and the text transform uppercase, margin of 0 pixels, letter spacing of 5 pixels, front family, Arial. Para 1. Coming into the class of the para 1, we are having the class selector that applies styles to any HTML tag with class para 1. Front size 16 pixels, text transform uppercase, color set to black, font weight 400, margin set to 5 pixels, margin top 10 pixels. Position is relative. It sets the element position relative, allowing it to the position relative to its normal position. This is useful for additional positioning with properties like top, right, bottom and left. Now coming into the columnar division 6, the width is set to 50%, the float is set to the left of the HTML page, the position is relative. And as mentioned above, these are the para 2.1 block which contains the front size set to 10 pixels, text transform is uppercase, color is set to black, front weight 400, margin 5 pixels, margin top 10 pixels. And similar to the para 2.1, the para 2, para 1 blocks are here. And these are the closing tags as mentioned at the first of the video. These are the basic tags which are very useful and can be and the page can be only progressed if there are closing tags for each and every opening tag. And this is a website which is used to develop resumes for the purpose of the students and everyone. Thank you everyone, etc.